Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Gaming, and we have a little bit of a different video today. There's been a lot of buzz and a lot of noise coming in one ear and sticking in my brain, just about some of the content I've made both recently and in the past. And this isn't like a huge thing or anything, like it's not crazy big or whatever. Like this does not apply to, a majority of my audience, but there's a big enough set or a nice enough chunk of my audience who probably wants to hear me talk about this, that, you know what, I'll talk about it. As I'm recording this, I don't even know if I'm gonna release this. I don't know how comfortable I am releasing this, but listen, I'm not perfect, absolutely not. I make mistakes all the time. I think holding me to some kind of insane standard like that is crazy, but I am okay with talking about when I mess up, and that's fine. That's a human thing to do, and I'm not perfect. I'm gonna make bad videos. I'm gonna make mistakes in videos, and I'm sorry if any of those mistakes or bad choices have offended you or hurt you in the past, but I'm trying to constantly learn and improve as a person. And I feel like part of that is coming out and just talking about the two biggest things that people are mad at me right now for. And once again, this is not like a huge deal or anything. But I do feel like I do owe some kind of, response to both of these things, and I'm fine giving that response. And, I don't want this to be any kind of huge drama or anything. I really just want to say my piece, be done with it, clear my conscience, because I feel like I'm just kind of bottling up all these feelings and thoughts about these two situations. And, I have no problem talking about them, so I guess we'll get into it. So the two main videos that people seem to be mad at me about is one, the first episode of FNAF Month, which just came out recently, which we're going to talk about second. And then the other video is the Post-Shift 2 video I released almost 2 years ago, which was about the game coming out and then getting deleted, and then it was an interview with the creator of the game, Jack. So we're going to start with that one first, because I feel like it's the easiest to talk about, and I have the least to say about it, so we'll start with that. We'll start there. I'm just gonna come out and say it right away. That video is probably dog shit. I have a hard time going back and watching older videos of mine that people say are bad, because I just don't want to. Like, that's gonna make me feel sick to my stomach. I don't want to be watching that. However, I do vividly remember that interview and that video enough to, put together the pieces in my head why people might be mad at it. And the main thing that I've kind of gathered is that people think that I was rude to the creator of the game in my interview with them. And there is a very real chance I was, and I definitely wasn't trying to be. I was just trying to get answers. I was trying to ask the questions that I thought people wanted to know at the time. And when that video came out, nobody had a problem with the interview. I really think it just hasn't aged very well, which is fine. Some things don't. And even if it was bad from the beginning, you know what? Maybe that's just the case. And I'm no interviewer. This is the only interview I've ever done, for a reason. I was never super proud of it when I put it out anyway, but I mean, especially I'm not super duper proud of it now that people just keep, bugging me about it. And you know what, I got fine, good vibes from Jack at the end of our conversation, and that's what I thought things were fine. But if I genuinely did kind of step any lines, cross any boundaries, I apologize 100%. It's not a huge deal to say that, for me to say that. I have no issue apologizing for that. That interview probably has aged very poorly. That game is definitely seen in a different light now than it was almost 2 years ago. And sometimes videos that old just don't age very well. So, yeah, I'm sorry for that interview. I'm not going to do anything other than apologize, because that video is almost 2 years old. It's been on my channel for so long, and I don't really want people to be re-uploading it, because if I take it down or if I edit the section out, people are just going to continuously re-upload that video. And I'd rather just keep it on my channel. It's fine, people can vent their frustrations in the comments or whatever. I'm human, I make mistakes, sometimes you just fuck up, and I'm fine admitting that I totally messed up there, and that interview probably is not very good now, and I'm sorry about that, for sure. Now on to the more relevant and pressing topic, my second newest video as of the time of recording, my video on FNAF Plus Restored by Lost Paw Play. Now, people are mad at this video for a couple different reasons, and overall, I still like this video to an extent. However, I'm not stupid, I'm not ignorant. I can see why some people were frustrated at this video and thought it was insensitive or rude. And I have no problem talking about that and trying to kind of set the record straight on my thoughts or deeper opinions on, you know, each of the main things that people are mad about. So let's talk about the first main thing that people are mad about. It's a word I used in the video to kind of exaggerate and make a point funnier in the video, quote unquote. I used a word that rhymes with pizzo, and I used it as a substitution for the word crazy. And a lot of people were mad at that because apparently that's a slur. I was not aware that was an actual slur. I was not using the word in its actual meaning. When I used that in the video, like I said, I was using it for a exaggerated version of crazy, and I was trying to, because I was talking about people on Telegram and I was trying to compare it to, like, you know, crazy people, like tinfoil hat people, like anti-vaccine, like, you know, anti-all other social media, like that kind of, like, person, and I just used a poor word choice for it. Like, my extent of seeing that word in, like, you know, memes or whatever is like Peter Griffin sitting on the chair saying, "Oh, sweet, a pizzo thread." Like, that's why I used the word. It was not to offend anybody. Actually, no, it was to offend, like, anti-vax, you know, those kind of, like, crazy tinfoil hat people, like conspiracy theorists. That's what I meant when I said it. It was just a bad word choice for what I actually meant in the video, and I apologize for using it. Enough people have called me out for it, and I do apologize, absolutely. And I've actually gone into that video and edited out the section where I said it, and the video still flows pretty well. I haven't actually checked if that went through yet, but I just used the YouTube video editor, and I left a little thing in the description just talking about why the edit was made. And yeah, I am very sorry for using that word, and obviously going forward, I'm not going to be using that word or anything similar to it in videos, because I want to respect my audience. I just want to respect my audience. I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, I just want to respect my audience, and you know, that getting rid of that from the video is a pretty good way of doing that, in my opinion, and I'm sorry for including it. Now, on one thing I'm not super sorry for is I saw a few people get mad at me in that video for quote-unquote defending Fiznom, when all I said was that he was a friend of the show and that I thought he was doing better off now that he was not actively doing FNAF content, which I feel like is factually true. And it's no secret that I have no issue with Fiznom, and that I feel like his apologies and, you know, for everything he's done have been pretty genuine, and I don't really see any issue to continuously hate on him now. I don't know if there's just this weird bubble of people who think we all hate Fiznom, like people in my circle. Nobody in my active circle, like not community, but like a, you know, YouTuber, quote unquote friends or whatever, like circle. Nobody I actively talk to in that circle hates Fiznom. Like, I don't know where this came from, but everyone's pretty cool with him, and I don't know. I'm not any different. I don't have any real issues with Fiznom. I enjoy talking to him when I do. I think he's a funny guy, and I don't think anything I said about Fiznom in that video is factually incorrect. And this insane idea that he's, like, the worst person ever is so crazy to me, and crazy to other people I talk to, other YouTubers you watch. This is not just a me thing. So I'm not backing down from that. I don't care how much you hate Fiznom. I have literally no issues with him. He's pretty, like I said, all his apologies for all the things he's done have seemed very genuine to me, and I do take that at face value, that he is, you know, 100%, like, actually being real about that, and I'm totally fine with that. I have no issues with him because of that, and that's where that conversation ends. This is kind of just a general point. That video is very exaggerated for points and different kind of jokes and, like, things I was talking about within the game, because I really didn't know that, I didn't have that much to say about FNAF Plus Restored, really, so I was just trying to fill the video with a bunch of, like, exaggerated jokes and kind of, like, funny shit, and if you didn't like that, sorry, I don't know, sometimes you just swing and you miss. You know, that video is not perfect, obviously, and I'm sorry if you just didn't like that. You know, I'll try to be better. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. If I came across, like, rude or anything in that video, also, I'm sorry. I'm never directly trying to come across as, like, super rude. It's just when the subject matter you're talking about is essentially a, like, an almost backwards pirated version of a game that doesn't exist. It's like, I don't know what the moral gray area for that is, and I mean, like, the AI shit with the phone call too, like, fucking Scott Cawthon clearly had an issue with that. There was an issue there. Acting like that game is completely innocent is crazy. So, yeah, I don't know. Once again, I'm sorry if I came off, like, rude or anything. I tried to not, but sometimes when you're talking about subjects like that, it's just genuinely hard to, you know, just not do that. Like, 90% of the stuff in that video directly being, like, quote-unquote rude to Lost Paw Play specifically, I should probably address this, is also just it's just me trying to be funny and exaggerate points for a joke, because I think that a lot of that situation is just kind of, like, stupid, and I didn't take it seriously. I just didn't take it seriously, and if that came across super rude, or if I was coming across super rude to like the entire like Russian FNAF community or anything, was not trying to do that. I was just trying to be funny, and you miss the mark sometimes, and I missed the mark. Apologies, apologies, apologies. So yeah, like I said, I edited out the main point of contention people have about that video. I'm probably not going to take it down. I'll probably just leave it up, because once again, if I take it down, people are just going to re-upload it, and as you know, I've taken out the main section that people were mad at, and I understand that, obviously. And if there's anything else I'm forgetting, I'm just going to preemptively apologize for it now, because I don't want to talk about this anymore. And, you know, moving forward, I'm just going to try to make some good, funny content that isn't stepping on anybody's toes. And I feel like the Locked in Sewer video is that. I saw one person try to call me out for it, and I was just, like, completely baffled. They're like, oh, you're just, like, shitting on this little guy's fucking project, when that video is majority positive to that, to that game for what it is. And, I mean, the jokes in that video are, like, standard jokes in my videos now. Like, it's just nothing. I have no real issue with Locked in Sewer. You can just watch the full video and learn that. So, yeah, I think that's insanely silly. And, yeah, I don't know. It's just been nice to get this all out there. I'm sorry I haven't made any of you mad. Like I said, I know this is not the majority of you. I'm really just appeasing a small crowd. But I just want to put my 2 cents out there before, you know, this keeps snowballing into something that it doesn't need to be. Like I said, I'm human, I make mistakes, I'm not gonna be perfect, I'm gonna release bad videos, and all I can do is say I'm sorry, and I'm trying to do better. And, God, when you get as much attention and, you know, spotlight and pressure that I do, it's just, sometimes it's really hard to ignore it, and I had to talk about this, so... Yeah, uploads on this channel are gonna go back to normal, you know, probably starting tomorrow, a couple days, and uploads on the main channel will resume probably next Friday for the next episode of FNAF Month. I'm not gonna stop it, but, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I gotta say about this all. Thank you all so much for watching. I've been, yeah, and I'll see you all next time. Thank you, everybody.